Jungle.
On Osrc News at 7, experts urge immediate action to control Lassa fever outbreak in Ondo State. FG advocates reduce plastic use, energy conservation to combat climate change. And from the foreign scene, scientists warn of rising temperatures, increased heat waves in Brazil.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us on the News at 7, coming to you live from Osrc Television. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. The prevalence of Lassa fever has become a major public health concern. The virus, which is transmitted by rodents, has affected different individuals in various communities across the state, with confirmed cases reported in 8 local government areas. Osrc's Zaid Aribisala reports that as health officials ramp up efforts to contain the situation, experts are calling on Ondo State residents for improved hygiene and collective vigilance to stop the spread of the disease. The report.
The persistence of Lassa fever in Ondo State is a source of concern, with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) cumulative data from week 1 to 5 of year 2025 revealing that 133 confirmed cases resulting in 17 deaths have been recorded in the state. According to the Ondo State Ministry of Health, Lassa fever has now spread across different communities, with no fewer than 8 local government areas affected. At the heart of this spread is poor environmental sanitation and improper waste management, which attract rodents that carry the virus. Ondo State epidemiologist Dr. Ayokunle Orimolade explains the factors driving the occurrence of Lassa fever cases and the steps needed to curb the outbreak. Dr. Orimolade stressed the importance of hygiene as the first line of defense against the spread of the virus, urging individuals to take responsibility for their environments.
We have increase in cases, more in the dry season, and therefore the state is on guard, our surveillance is on guard, our health facilities are on red alert to prepare for eventualities that may occur from an outbreak. It can also be transmitted from man to man, that's from an infected person to an uninfected person. So you have identified 2 ways by which can be transmitted: from animal to man, from while ingesting food that has been contaminated by either the urine or the feces of these rodents. And that is why it is very important that we should maintain food hygiene.
A disease surveillance officer, Boyega Famokun, will underscore the importance of community awareness and early detection in controlling the outbreak, emphasized that local surveillance and swift action are essential to preventing new cases.
When you see any changes in the human system, when anybody saying, I am sick, at this point in time, you understand me, let's just refer. Because it can either be Lassa, yellow fever, or mpox, depending on the signs and symptoms.
The State Health Promotion Officer, Mrs. Mercy Ajibola, made the call for religious and community leaders to join the fight against Lassa fever.
A lot of misconceptions going on in the community. Some people say that it's a spiritual problem, that it's not, those diseases are they're not real. So what we are trying to say is that they should please let them know.
As cases of Lassa fever continues to affect Ondo State, the efforts of health officials, disease surveillance teams, and community leaders will be crucial in the coming days. It is also clear that only a united approach involving every member of society can stop the spread of Lassa fever here in Ondo State. Sahira Ribisala, Osrc News.
To security now. Crisis has erupted in the four headquarters of a local government area of Ondo State following the reported death of a boy in police custody due to alleged. It was said to have angered youths in the community who protested the killing of the police station, allegedly chased away policemen on duty and set ablaze the police station. Another account indicates that some young individuals got into a fight on Valentine's Day. One party went to the police station to report the incident, which led to the arrest of two members of the opposing group. These two arrested individuals were brutally tortured. Tragically, one died in his cell yesterday morning, while the other was rushed to the hospital and still in a coma. The group that lost their friend and family member reacted angrily by going to the home of the individual who reported them to the police, where they set the house ablaze and the divisional police station as well. This morning, the group gathered again to protest when a team of policemen was dispatched to restore order. They encountered the protesting youths and shot one of them. The police commissioner in the state, Olatokunbo Afolabi, is said to have visited the scene with a view to restoring normalcy. Meanwhile, the Ondo State Commissioner of Police, Wilfred Afolabi, has condemned the attack and arson on the division four headquarters of Osrc local government area. The Commissioner of Police, who visited the form for an on-the-spot assessment on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, commiserated with the family of the deceased and condemned the attack on the station as he vowed that such acts of lawlessness would not be tolerated. In a statement by the Police Public Relations Officer, Fumilayo Odulami, the Commissioner has ordered a full-scale investigation to determine the circumstances that led to the incident and to bring those responsible to justice. The Commissioner, in the course of his visit, met with the chairman-elect of the local government, community leaders, and other stakeholders in the community. The police command urged members of the public to remain calm and refrain from taking the laws into their own hands. In another development, 29-year-old Islamic teacher Abdurrahman Bello, who was arrested on Saturday for the alleged murder of Yetunde Lawal, a final year student at Kwara State College of Education.
Yes, sir.
No, padà.
Ibi tí ó dá sí nìyẹn tó kí ọ̀nà tó dá sí. Ẹ wá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí jù. Ẹ wọlé ẹjọba wá tà. Àdá lórí jù ni. A máa gbé tébù.
The federal government says changes in Nigeria's daily habits could boost the efforts of the government and other states to mitigate the effects of climate change. In a statement in Abuja, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, urged Nigerians to reduce plastic usage and conserve energy. The minister urged radio stations in Nigeria to use their platforms to raise awareness about climate change and its impact on the country. According to him, communities could be equipped with the knowledge and tools to adapt to the changing climate and mitigate its effects through informative and educational programs. The minister recalled that at the 29th session of the Conference of Parties of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP29, in Baku, Azerbaijan, President Tinubu highlighted Nigeria's vulnerability to climate change. Idris mentioned that Tinubu also outlined Nigeria's strategies and efforts to mitigate its impact and implement policies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, enhance resilience, and integrate climate solutions into national planning. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle, has described the decision of Canadian authorities as a serious affront on the country. Spokesperson of the Ministry of Defense, Sunday Yogo Matawalle, criticized the Canadian authorities for the treatment meted out on the Nigerian delegation. The minister said Nigeria must not take a passive stance on the development, adding that there was need to investigate the reasons for the visa denial. The military leaders were to travel to Canada for an event organized to honor war veterans, but their visa applications were rejected. The development elicited various reactions on and off social media. The Canadian High Commission in Nigeria said it would not comment on the circumstances around the issue. We'll go on this break. When we return, the news at 7 continues. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 7 coming to you live from Osrc Television. You can also watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. For Professor Felix Akinshola Akinyosoye, it was a double celebration as he celebrated his birthday and retirement from civil service with a heartfelt Thanksgiving service. Professor Felix Akinshola Akinyosoye, a renowned academic and microbiologist, has had a legacy of success spanning over 3 decades. OSRC's Abidemi Akinrotoye reports.
Professor Felix Akinshola Akinyosoye, a renowned academic and microbiologist, has had a legacy of success spanning over 3 decades. His working experience began at the University of Ilorin in 1982, where he laid the foundation for his future success. In February 1997, Professor Akinyosoye joined the Federal University of Technology, FUTA, as a senior lecturer. His exceptional dedication, hard work, and commitment to excellence earned him a rapid promotion through the ranks. In 2003, he attained the prestigious position of professor in microbiology. During the sermon at Cathedral Church of St. Peter, Ileoluji, Ondo State, Reverend Amos Fagbamiye emphasized on the need for man to live a fruitful life, citing the celebrant as an example.
No, I just say 100%. Contentment, 100%. Encourager and motivator, 100%. And the legacy in microbiology, the legacy, 100%.
The Jegun of Ileoluji, Oba Olufaderin Adetimehin, commended the celebrant's selfless service towards Ileoluji community. Friends and family joined in joyful celebration as the celebrant receives blessings and prayers. The celebration of his achievements continued at the ground reception ceremony at Velocity Global Event Center, Ileoluji, and was attended by dignitaries from far and wide. Families and friends also spoke glowingly about Professor Akinyosoye. Professor Felix Akinshola Akinyosoye shared his excitement about retirement and future plans. The birthday and retirement Thanksgiving ceremony of Professor Felix Akinshola Osoye was a tribute to God's faithfulness and grace over his life, as well as gratitude for the new age added to him. Abidemi Akinrotoye, OSRC News.
In the meantime, believers have been encouraged to adopt a lifestyle of continuous praise in order to strengthen their faith and also deepen connection with God. This call to devotion was made during the annual Oba Afinija service held at the Cherubim and Seraphim Movement Church, Mercyland Sanctuary in Akure, Ondo State Capital. Osrc's Blessing Ube provides further details into the service's key moments.
It was a moment of worship, praise, and prophetic declarations as worshippers gathered at the Cherubim and Seraphim Movement Church, Mercyland Sanctuary in Akure, Ondo State, for a celebration of faith. The annual Oba Afinija service serves as a pivotal movement for spiritual renewal and collective faith building among congregants. The guest minister, Prophet Joel Adeniro, delivered a sermon urging attendees to adopt a lifestyle of consistent praise to deepen their relationship with God. The service included a Thanksgiving session where worshippers expressed gratitude and shared testimonies of personal transformation and answered prayers.
About giving praises to the Lord that can fight our battles in time of trials with praises. You know, one thing that is common about Christians is we believe when prayer fails, praises cannot fail. So we are just using today to appreciate the Lord that fight our battles with praises.
As a Christian, we're taught about the positive effect of actually praising God, and so we know today that it is not when you pray alone that you can receive so many blessings in praising and appreciating God, even in difficult times. And I want to tell people that at this time in Nigeria, this is the time we actually need to continue to praise God and thank Him, and we know Nigeria will be better. And the church here today that has actually bring up this kind of a program, the church will be blessed and the people will be blessed.
We experience God in another dimension. This is 5 years anniversary of Oba Afinija, and God is really powerful and really proved Himself to be a wonderful God. Oba Afinija this year is another dimension, and we really appreciate God for that.
The Cherubim and Seraphim Church continues to promote its mission of holiness, worship, and prophetic intercession, encouraging believers to live in faith and righteousness. Blessing Ube, OSRC News.
In other stories, the federal government is vowed to approve the lead hoarding of relief materials meant for internally displaced persons, IDPs. Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Aliu Ahmed, said this after uncovering relief supplies hoarded inside classrooms at the Durumi IDP camp in Abuja. Ahmed, who was at the Durumi IDP camp to inaugurate a computer center donated by a non-governmental organization, embarked on an inspection of the camp and discovered that food and non-food items meant for the distribution to the IDPs were being stored in classrooms instead. The commissioner announced plans to set up a committee to investigate similar cases in other IDP camps across the country, while assuring the IDPs of the government's continued commitment to their welfare. The National Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, has expressed fear over the federal government's plan to ban 60,000 litres capacity tankers following the rising cases of accidents involving fuel tankers. NATO President Yusuf Uthman, in an interview with newsmen in Abuja, said such a move would cause a loss of 300 billion naira worth of investments by the tanker owners. The federal government earlier, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, proposed a reduction of 60,000 litres capacity petroleum tankers to a maximum of 45,000 litres to reduce accident cases, explosion and fatalities. He said that 2,000 trucks with a 60,000 litres capacity worth 150 million naira each, amounting to 300 billion investments, were involved in the transportation of petroleum products nationwide. Uthman explained that some of these investments were being financed by the commercial banks, while some were personal investments of the tanker owners. Moving on to the foreign scene, Annabella Rungo, the mother of Miss Universe Africa, the Oceania 20. After being found at a property in Cape Town, despite her South African documents being confiscated last year due to allegations of identity fraud. Her presence sparked outrage, leading to a petition demanding the removal of Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber. Home Affairs Department stated that it had declared Ms. Rungo ineligible to continue residing in South Africa in September 2024, after the Department of Home Affairs found that she had allegedly obtained her citizenship fraudulently. Ms. Odeshino, born in Soweto to a Nigerian father and a Mozambique mother, withdrew from Miss South Africa 2024 amid backlash and citizenship fraud allegations. Rio de Janeiro is in the grip of a heat wave, and scientists are warning that temperatures could soar above what the human body can withstand. The impact is harshest for those who live in poor neighborhoods. Kemisola Ojomo has details.
As temperatures soar in Rio de Janeiro, crowds flock to the beach, filling nearly every centimeter of sand before seeking relief in the sea. But up in the hills, in the maze of bricks and concrete that makes up Brazil's largest favela or slum.
Our houses are packed tightly together, the streets are narrow, and there are no trees to cool the air. On top of that, we face water shortages. The favela is divided into sectors, and each one only gets 3 days' worth of water before it's replenished.
70-year-old Elizabeth Bahaba is one of thousands of people facing another day without water. The taps in her neighborhood have run dry. She has no choice but to make several trips down the hill to collect waters from friends and family who have some to spare.
It's exhausting to trek up and down carrying all these bottles. It's so hot and people need water for everything, drinking, bathing. You have to make a choice, either get the water or risk dehydration and getting sick.
More than 80,000 people call Rocinha home, and many like Elizabeth are desperate for the heat wave to end. Scorching temperatures in southern Brazil have forced school to close. In Rio, students tell us many of their classmates went home early because they couldn't bear the heat.
There's no air conditioning, no fans. All we can do is try to cool ourselves down with our hands.
Meteorologists warned that temperatures will only increase in the coming days.
We're experiencing record heat waves, and it's all linked to climate change. This January was the hottest since the Copernicus Institute began tracking temperatures, and February is expected to be even hotter.
Last year, Brazil has endured 8 heat waves. This year, there have already been 3, and 2025 has just begun. Kemisola Ojomo, Osrc News.
Officials and reports say at least 18 people died during a stampede at a railway station in India's capital late Saturday, when surging crowds scrambled to attracts tens of millions of Hindu fear of crowd-related disasters. The rush at the train station in New Delhi appeared to break out Saturday as crowds struggled to board trains for the ongoing event, which will end on February 26. The governor of the Capital Territory, Delhi, Veena Kumar Sajana, said disaster management personnel had been deployed and all hospitals are in readiness to address related exigencies. The 6-week Kumar Mela is the single biggest milestone in the Hindu religious calendar, and officials said around 500 million devotees have already visited the festival since it began late last month. To end the news at 7, here again are the major stories. We told you that experts have urged immediate action to control Lassa fever outbreak in Ondo State. The federal government has advocated reduced plastic use, energy conservation to combat climate change. And from the foreign scene, scientists have warned of rising temperatures, increased heat waves in Brazil. And that's it on the news at 7. Thank you very much for being a part of it. Good evening.
Happiness anywhere. Ẹ ṣé níbi tẹ́ràn wá lọ́wọ́ dé. Àwípé ọpẹ́ ọlá yìí kò ní forúkọ rẹ Ọlọ́run ọba. Kì í máa ń ṣe nípa agbára wa, kì í ṣe nípa ọgbọ́n orí wa.